Hi there YouTubers, it's Chris again. I just thought I'd refresh your memory about the liver transplant. I did a video blog about it some time back and there was quite a bit of interest shown, and I thought I'd tell you how it all came about. Basically it all started off, I was working in the American Embassy in London. It was around 1979, Christmas Eve, and I wasn't feeling none too bonny. So anyhow, I didn't bother go to the bar or the pub or anything like that for a drink. I went home. So the next morning, I opened the pubs there on this Christmas Day, not like some places, but I went down to meet the boys like and have a couple of drinks, and I was feeling very poorly. It was a couple of mile walk, and I had half a pint of Guinness. I couldn't drink it, so I mixed the tonic water up with it. I thought I might be able to drink it, but I couldn't, and I was all swelled up. Well, a couple of the lads, you know, being smart Alex, was a 24-hour chemist across the way. I should go over there and ask him for something. So I did, and the chemist said, well, he said, you have to get something for the doctor. He said, you're all swelled up. He said, it's water retention. I said, oh dear. And he said, look, he said, I'll give you these. He said, they're for women, you know, at a certain time of the month, he said, to get rid of the fluid, and they was appropriately called waterfall tablets. So anyway, I proceeded home with a great deal of difficulty. I took a couple of these pills. When I got indoors, wallop, I start passing blood. So the next thing, around comes the ambulance, carted me off to Evergreen Hospital, which was a very small kind of cottage hospital. And in there the doctor proceeded to ask me a lot of very, very personal questions, such as that I had VD lately, which my old woman took very badly, which I hadn't anyhow, but put me to bed. First thing they did, shoved in 4 pints of blood in me. Well, this was all right, but the next thing, I was cramped from head to toe, from the top of my head to my toes, solid cramp. And luck would have it, a nurse come along and see the condition I was in, and she said, what's the bother? And I couldn't even answer. So she ran up and she come back with these tablets. They was size of an old penny, big white things. Put them in my mouth and they all kind of frothed up. And then I heard them going into a wee bit of an huddle like and having a chat, and it would seem what they did, they give me the 4 pints of blood and they didn't give me any saline drip previous to open up the veins, because the veins all cramped up, and that was the cause of the bother. But anyway, got over that, and I was pretty rough, and I was in there about a fortnight because the one doctor that was around, he was on his holidays. He'd gone away for a couple of weeks and I had to wait till he come back. When he come back, he finally checked me over, and he said that my liver was in a very poor state. He said, and a third of it had disappeared. I said, Jesus Christ. I said, I suppose that means the end of having a drink, because as you know, in them embassies the drinks for next to nothing, like, and I suppose I did drink a bit of abundance of the stuff. And the doctor politely told me, he said, if you want to have a drink, he said, dig a big hole. He said, take your booze down there with you. He said, save someone else the trouble of digging it for you. Well, that was enough for me, and from that day to this I've never had another drink. But all things considered, like, I don't really know if it was the drink alone that caused the trouble, because previous to this I'd had TB and double pneumonia. You mightn't believe all this story, but it's gospel truth. And I found out only about a year ago that if you're on rifamycin, it is absolute fatal for having any drink of alcohol with the stuff, because it does irreparable liver damage. And anyway, I come out of hospital after that, and I said, I've had enough of this, going up here to work every day and all that. I want to have a bit of a life. So I packed up and I moved to Ireland, and all went well for about 18 years, and then I got sick again and all swelled up and everything. Mind you, in all this time I'd never had another drink, but I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me, he said, Jesus, he said, the old liver is really kind of totally banjaxed, he says, and there's no hope for it, he said. And he sent me up to Cork, to the big hospital in Cork, where they checked me over and give me a good looking at, and I was promptly told you need a liver transplant. And I said, oh yeah, how do we go about that then? And they was just going to send me home, and that was the end of it. And at this stage of the game, my brother-in-law come up to visit me, and I told him to spin, and he said, like, you know, what, they're sending you home after telling you that, virtually a death sentence, so to speak. I said, that's about the size of it. So he said, look, he said, you sit here in that bed, he said, and don't move. He said, I'm going to get this sorted out. When we had all kind of different staff in, and eventually the head lady, who was completely in charge of the hospital, come in, and he stated his case very, very severely. And she said, right, she said, we're fixing an appointment up for you to go to Vincent's in Dublin and get checked out. And that's exactly what I did, but I'll carry on with that story another time. So if you want to listen the next time, I try and enlighten you some more. It's quite an interesting story. See you again, YouTubers. Take care. Bye bye. But by the way, if there's anybody out there that happens to know John Griezmann and his wife Anna, that used to work in the embassy in London around that time, he came from Chicago. I'd really love to hear from him again. He was a great old friend of mine, so any of you do know him, I said please give him the word, would you? See you again, bye.